Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, all praise is the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahushai. I pray the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. One of the brethren sent me a picture, and I've seen this picture before, and I'm sure many of you have also. It's a picture goes with the book of the medieval empire of the Israelites. It actually goes with the cover, and it goes with the 3 parts. We've seen this picture before. The 3 parts that the Gentiles were allowed to inhabit and see, but they were not allowed on the Most High's, hidden property. Now we look at over there to the left, at the bottom, you look at America, but take a look on top of Europe. You have England, right? Now, America, and England are shaded pretty much the same colors, okay? Kind of making a connection. It was not connected to Europe. But many times right now, we just kind of assume when we talk about Europe, we're also talking about Britain, and we're talking about Ireland and all those places as well. But now with the understanding that the Most High has given us right now, see, we just assumed that the Indo-Europeans have always had their hands on Britain, and they had the tin and the resources, and they were using it for all the different things, the electronics and the shipbuilding and all the other stuff that they use it for. But now we've been enlightened by the Most High to show you how the other nations did not have the knowledge to find England, to find the islands. It was kept from them. And the Phoenicians, monopolized that, that agreement they must have had with the people there in England, our people. And they made up faulty information in order to keep the other nations from finding it. They would shipwreck their ships, knowing that they would be reimbursed later on. And they were not able to find the islands of England or Britain. England, Britain, Ireland, it was all kept away from them. Just like what happened with America. They were not able to find America. The Phoenicians also did a good job, as we read in Secret Voyages, and we're going to read some more about that, how they kept the other nations from finding their trade routes. Now, the Europeans not being able to find these places, like they could see all the tangible resources that they, were getting from the Phoenicians, but they couldn't get there. They couldn't go there themselves. You know how it is, like you got a group of friends, and you got just one guy that you got to keep secrets from, and that guy's always trying to find that information. He's always trying to get that secret information that's being held from him, and every time he thinks he's close and he's about to get it, he's thwarted somehow. That's what was going on back then. That friend, that was treated like the redheaded stepchild. How, people would talk about things, as soon as he came around, they'd stop talking. Because they know he could not find out about these places. Because once he did, everybody knew that everything would get screwed up as soon as he got his greasy little hands on our resources and our people. And that was all part of the covenant. Keeping, that redheaded stepchild away from our people and our resources. The only way that he would be able to find us was if we messed up, was if we broke the covenant. And that's exactly what we did. So the redheaded stepchild first got a hold of England. And I don't think it's a coincidence that you're looking at how England right here is separated from Europe, and we know that it was hidden, and that it's the same color as America right here. So there's a connection between England and America, of course, right? We had control of these lands, we had control of the resources, and at that time, we had I'm sure the strongest navy in the world, because that's exactly what happened when the Gentiles got a hold of England. And eventually they found their time where they got found America as well. Oops. Go back over there. Now I got more information about this actually from a group of books that I got today. So I'll probably try to make another video introducing some of that information right now. I just barely turned it open the book and it went right to some great information. But from here, just on this little map here, you can just see how they separated England from Europe. I'm sure that was not by accident, because they knew about these places, but they did not know about this one. This was new territory, new lands, opened up new opportunities for them. And then when they got over here to the Americas, I'm going to continue out of this other book. I'm going to probably make the video right now, and let's continue with the next book, the next video shortly. But they got their three parts right here: Europe, Asia, Africa. Most High still kept our lands. We had all the Americas. We also had England. None of this stuff is on accident. So now you fast forward to today. What do you see going on with the plague? You see it hidden. England. Really, really bad. And pretty much anything that happens in England then happens in America. Right? They found a variant. We found the variant. The variant gets to be really, really difficult over there. Well, we can expect that to happen, in next month, in our new year. So everything that happens over there happens here. Like there's a connection, correct? And this connection was exactly what happened thousands of years ago, or a few hundred years ago. When the Gentiles found England, they went ahead and did what? They took over the churches, the holy spots, and they built right over them. Wrote a new history. Anglicized our history, right? So that's what they did hundreds of years ago. When they got here, what did they do? Exactly the same thing. They finally got their opportunity to discover the new world. What did they do? Built right on top of our holy lands, our holy places. Just like in Cholula, where there's a huge church on top of a pyramid. That's just an example of all the things that they were doing all up and down the Americas. Hiding our history, hiding our information. Because it's kind of like it would kind of be like a bad thing, don't you think? The fact that he's the last to know of everything. Like when someone's, having a huge party and they didn't invite you. You didn't know anything about the party. And then you show up, unbeknownst to everybody. Nobody invited you. No one told you about anything. But then you just happen to be driving down the street and you see all these cars. You see all these people, having a good old time, having a great old time. And then you show up and all your friends and all your boys and people you thought they were your boys are all chilling, having a great time, and they didn't even invite you. You'd be pretty pissed, wouldn't you? Well, now imagine Esau right now. Everybody's been making money, hand over fist, enjoying themselves, partying, but they kept all that information away from Esau. So how do you think he'd be? Pissed, upset, because he wanted to be included in the fun times too. But that was not the plan. So when he got his chance, he just went crazy. And that's exactly what he did in over there in England. Ireland, and then he did the same thing over here. So now the Most High is serving up that punishment, and you're seeing it. It's going on over there in Europe, well, in England, and it's going over here. It's starting over there and makes its way over here. They started our destruction of our people over there in England and Ireland, and then they came over here and destroyed our people over here. So now the Most High is returning the favor. He's destroying them over there first in England, and then he's bringing that destruction over here to America. Now it all starts to make sense as to why these things are happening in this order right now. The Most High is going to sweep them off those lands because those are ours too. Those ones are hidden from them, and they're going to be hidden from them again. Then he's going to destroy them over here as well, because these were our holy lands. These lands were all to be kept separate, and that's what he's about to do. He's sweeping them off in order to get that separation once again. So as you take a look at this map, just realize, this isn't on accident. This is exactly on purpose. We won't see it until the Most High decides to open our eyes to be able to see it, to be able to see that connection between Europe, right there, England being our lands, and we're hidden from the other nations. And he's about to hide them again, and he's going to hide our holy lands over here as well. So as we look back and review things, we're going to be able to pull out more information now that we've been blessed with more understanding. All praise is to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahushai. Shalom.